Well, if you can't get them off the streets, put them on a ship. A former mayor pitching out an out-of-the-box solution to San Francisco's homeless crisis. New at 6, it sounds like a wild idea, but a former San Francisco mayor says these are desperate times. He wants to turn an old aircraft carrier into temporary housing for the homeless. KPIX 5's Phil Mateer is live along the waterfront with how this floating shelter could work. Phil?
That's right. It's going to work if it works, because San Francisco is in need in a crisis. Here's the story. Say hello to the USS Peleliu, a mothballed naval carrier that former Mayor Art Agnos is floating as the latest solution to San Francisco's ongoing homeless shelter crisis.
The USS Peleliu would be a game changer. Having them on a ship is a far better alternative than having them live in unsanitary conditions and unsafe conditions.
And believe it or not, it's been used as a homeless shelter before, right here in San Francisco.
We did it for a short term in 1989 in the Loma Prieta earthquake. We used it for approximately 2 weeks. People had a safe, clean place to live for a short time with food.
Still, parking even a small aircraft carrier and using it as a homeless shelter, how desperate is that?
And I can tell you, in my district, in the Mission, it's ground zero. We have dozens of people living on the street. If it takes a decommissioned aircraft carrier to do that, I think we should consider it.
Homeless advocate Randy Shaw, however, says this is one idea that should be deep-sixed.
It's a publicity thing, and we're past that point after 30 years to be talking about these kind of, silly solutions.
The thought of trying to do a navigation center that houses 25 or 30 people every 6 months in various neighborhoods is simply taking too much time for a crisis of these proportions.
What's the city cost? Can it work? And getting people onto the boat and off the boat and things that could happen to people when they're on the boat, it just raises all the costs of everything.
Who's going to pay for this?
Well, we're already spending $250 million in this city, and look what we got.
Well, what we've got ourselves is a situation that doesn't seem to be improving, at least by some of the supervisors we talked with. The mayor's office, they say, okay, it's a bit far-fetched. They're not in the market right now for an old battleship. They're going to stick with what they're doing. But I want to show you guys, this is the pier where the aircraft carrier was used as a homeless shelter during the earthquake. And as you can see, it's quite a bit different than the old collection of warehouses and such that it was back then. It's a different city and a bigger problem with homelessness, one that now might need more than a life raft. Art Agnos says it needs a whole ship. Here in San Francisco, Phil Mateer, KPIX 5.